The federal government is hours away from a partial shutdown after a last-ditch effort to stop it fell short of just 5 votes. As the clock continues to tick, we wanted to find out how a shutdown could impact us, if at all. That's tonight's Your Money Matters. In order to avoid a shutdown, lawmakers needed to compromise on a funding bill. Republicans proposed a short-term bill to fund the government through mid-November, which passed the House this month. However, Democrats in the Senate demanded any deal must address health care, including an extension of subsidies under the Affordable Care Act.
We need to deal with this health care crisis now, not later. But the Republican bill fails to do that.
Senate Democrats said no. Why? Because far-left interest groups and far-left Democrat members wanted a showdown with the president.
There have been 14 government shutdowns in the U.S. since 1980, with the most recent happening in 2018. Jared McIntyre, CEO of the Dakota Institute, says typically shutdowns are short-lived and don't have much of an impact when it comes to things like the economy.
The labor market, the stock market, these sort of ignore the sort of shutdown dynamics. It has some impact on economic activity and national output, but they're relatively minor. I mean, it's a $30-some trillion economy, and these things are kind of a blip.
A difference in this potential shutdown, though, is that the White House is threatening mass firings at federal agencies.
So we don't know how that could impact things, but it's also because there is the threat of those reductions in force, it could also bring the parties together more quickly on funding things. So it's really hard to anticipate what the impact will be. As I said, historically, they're kind of non-events.
Now, in a shutdown, the federal government must stop all non-essential functions until funding is approved by Congress and signed into law, except for programs that are funded by other means like fees or other legislation. Now, entitlement programs like Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid also continue, so checks will still go out. However, you might notice delays when dealing with things on a customer service level due to staffing furloughs.